Now let's see what the impact government intervention has on this market equilibrium. Let's start with taxes. The easiest way to do taxes is by doing the equations first, and then we can explain how that works in the diagram. So suppose that the demand curve was like this, 22 minus 2Q, and the supply was PS equals 2 plus 8Q. Well, if there's no tax, we know that the price is going to be the equilibrium price for demand and supply. So we know PD is equal to PS. And we can solve for Q by making the two equations equal to each other. And if we do that, the value of Q is going to be equal to 2. And we can put that Q into either one of the two equations. Let's say we put it into the supply equation. That would be 2 plus 8, 2, and the price will end up being $18. So if there's no tax, this will be the equilibrium quantity of $2 and the equilibrium price of $18. Now let's say there's a tax equals to the tax of $2 per unit, and let's say that initially they're going to charge this tax to the consumers. Now charging this tax to the consumers means that now consumers are going to have to pay the price that they pay the suppliers plus $2. So basically, the price consumers will pay will be the price they pay to the suppliers, that's PD plus the tax, which is $2. So that will be the new demand curve, and then we can still use the old supply curve PS equals to 2 plus 8Q, and then we can make the two curves equal to each other, since we actually already integrated the tax. Now notice that this tax of plus 2 in the left hand side, we can just move it to the right hand side. So our demand equation now is 20 minus 2Q, which is essentially a shift to the left of the demand curve by the amount of the tax. And that's equal to our supply, which is 2 plus 8Q. And now we can solve for the new value of Q, and you will end up with a Q equals to 1.8, which makes sense because the tax, what it does is discourage trade in this market, so the quantity, equilibrium quantity, should be less with the tax than without. And then the equilibrium price should probably be less than before because the demand curve shifts to the left. And if you put the price, and again, you put it in the supply curve, we actually end up with price equals to 16.4. So the effect of this tax was that it decreased the quantity, and also it decreased the price. Right? So the price went down to 16.4, and the quantity went down to 1.8. Now, one interesting thing here is that, well, what will happen if instead of charging this tax to the consumers, we have actually charged this tax to the producers? What would have been the difference? Well, we're going to do that in the next video.